we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special presentation of
Two Nerds, a podcast. Your home for everything movies, music, video games, and everything in between. With your hosts, Buddy the Bruiser, and Dynamite Jared Latchey.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Two Nerds, a podcast. I am Buddy the Bruiser.
And I'm Dynamite Jared Latchey.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm never gonna get used to that.
You forgot about it, didn't you?
Little bit.
I forgot about it too. But then I listened to episode 2 the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I do that now.
You scream and yell
I scream.
all the time.
Well, I've always done that. But I do it on the podcast now.
True.
Yeah.
So, how you been, Jared? I haven't seen you in a little bit.
It's been a long time. We've created an illusion for the audience, though, that...
No, there's no illusion. Everyone knows. Okay, I've been in Florida for the past 3 weeks, but everyone knows I've been taking the private jet back and forth on Saturdays to record this podcast live for everyone out there. Everyone knows that. The Two Nerds private jet.
And we have to thank all of our listeners out there for giving us such a successful relaunch to the show, season 2, that gives us the financial comfort to be able to take private jets. I actually took a private jet down to Florida for
You did.
for a week too.
Yeah.
Actually,
And you didn't hit me up?
what we recorded.
No, I flew to you, remember?
That was for episode 1.
Oh, yeah, you did come
And then
down.
I came down to Florida
Yeah,
for
yeah.
episode 2. God,
Yes.
fucking.
I remember now.
And we hit up Hogan's Beach Shop, but
Yeah.
you can talk about it.
So the Hogan's Beach Shop, there's actually, I believe, 2 of them. There's one in Orlando and there's one on the other side of Tampa. But that one's like right on the beach and that one's like the main one. The one that we went to is in Orlando, kind of by downtown Disney. I think it's about like 20 minutes away from that. It's kind of just in a random area with a bunch of hotels and stuff like that. It's not on the beach. But yeah, the store is basically a bunch of Hulk Hogan memorabilia. There's giant, I don't know if they're wax figures, but there's the big figures.
They
of
looked
Hulk.
like wax figures.
Yeah,
yes, I was there.
You were there,
And
yes.
they appeared to be wax figures.
Yes. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this, because when you walk in, you kind of expect it to be all Hogan merchandise, but there's actually a surprising amount of stuff that is not Hogan. Like, there's Kevin Owens stuff. Like, it's basically just like a WWE shop, but obviously there's majority of the stuff is Hogan stuff. WrestleMania 3 is on the TV at all times, basically. At least when I was in there. There's also some NWO stuff going on the TVs.
You mean to say that Hogan doesn't want people to see his absolute classic match with Ultimate Warrior
At Halloween Havoc.
At Halloween Havoc?
That was not on the playlist when we were there.
Okay.
But, yeah, my girlfriend...
Any Macho Man merch there?
I did not see any Macho Man merch,
No,
actually.
the grudge lives on.
Lives on, yes. Actually, did you see that thing? This is unrelated to Hogan's Beach Shop, but sort of a wrestling thing. You know how Jason Jordan was just revealed as Kurt Angle's son?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, so apparently there was also talk.
It's hard to believe that in 2017 WWE is still doing storylines like that.
Yes. Well, here's another one for you. So, Bailey, right? She's got the whole Macho Man gimmick. She has the thing.
So she's Macho Man's illegitimate daughter.
With Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, we can't go there, can we?
I didn't come up with this theory, but I'm relaying this theory to you.
Okay.
But this is circling the internet. But the problem with that...
I'm sure that storyline will come out anytime now. Or Triple H will have like a match where at WrestleMania where he's trying to call out the spirit of Macho Man. They can get it on one time because I don't think they ever wrestled.
I don't believe so.
All right.
But anyway, so Hogan's Beach...
have you ever watched the old Macho Man videos from like the early 2000s? They were kind of like promoting MachoMan.com.
No, I haven't.
This is like after WCW folded and Macho Man was like a free agent.
Yeah.
And to the listeners out there, Ricky and George and I, we always fucking joke about these videos. These are absolutely must-watch videos. You go to YouTube and look up. I don't know. I don't know what to call the videos actually.
They're like promotional for the website.
I don't know what the title is, though.
Okay.
I've said a lot. But they're there, and it's basically Macho Man in a gym, and he's talking about the website, and he's lifting weights. I think it cuts between, like, videos of him, like, lifting the weights to him, like, smack talking. And so he's obviously calling out Hulk Hogan, but in one of them, he calls out Triple H.
Really?
As well, yeah. Over some Stephanie McMahon stuff. Stephanie is mentioned, and, yeah, these are absolutely... must-watch videos. Yeah, you got it right there. So give the title to the viewers.
So I looked it up on YouTube. I just put in Macho Man website, and the first link just says wrestling's funniest shit. Randy Savage lets loose.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I've been aware of these videos for quite some time now, but I think it's about time that the public
Knows about these.
sees about these videos. So. Yeah, and you get to hear about the very illustrious MissMachoMan.com pageant that was held back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like 2001, 2002-ish.
Probably 2002, 2003-ish.
Okay, so
yeah.
a couple years after.
After WCW
Yeah.
folded because Triple H was talking about Macho Man for whatever reason.
I see.
So, anyways, and for those of you that don't know as well, and I'm sure you are privy to this one by now, buddy, is that Macho Man actually had released a
rap album. Yeah, and I was actually going to propose that for our punishment for the music polls. They have to do a live stream of them listening to Macho Man's.
Oh, is
album.
that even a punishment? Is
that a reward? The winner gets that.
That's a reward for me, man. That's a great album. Some really hard tracks on there, like "Be a Man," which is an instant classic. There's some features from 50 Cent and other illustrious rappers on there. Yeah, man, I would lose on purpose, honestly, if that was.
You don't have to lose because you lose already. You don't have to lose on purpose.
Listen, let's just hop right into it. We've uncovered an article, okay, that to me is proving that Buddy's victory in at least one of our polls has just been an absolute fluke. And that people,
oh, come on,
that people that vote on these are just our fans, who I love, by the way, have just not done enough research into the subject because we researched it and we have found that the earliest fidget spinner is over 4,000
years old.
Okay, and I believe that is just solid evidence that Link was using this fidget spinner for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. To save Hyrule, man.
Our voters don't care about that kind of shit.
Well, they need to know the facts, and so I'm demanding a total recount right now. That fidget spinner showed signs of serious wear and tear from heavy usage, presumably in temples.
Presumably.
Yeah.
So the original, I found the article. The original fidget spinner is 4,000 years old, and apparently, kids were fidgeting.
Child Link.
It was still a toy back then too.
So aren't slingshots okay?
Its description here. It's in some sort of museum. It says spinning toy with animal heads made of baked clay, and. So these are older than Jesus.
So is Link.
It's 2000 to 1800 BC. Is what they're saying about this prehistoric fidget spinner. Were cavemen using fidget spinners?
Yeah, cavemen were, but before them, Link was using fidget spinners. Now, a Zelda game.
Are you sure Link is even in the past?
Yes.
What is your basis on this?
Well, just look at the game. It's very, very medieval.
There's lots of very futuristic things in it, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's lots of very... this is ancient technology that we're dealing with here, buddy. Okay? This, obviously, the world has started and ended several times since Link has been around. Think about how many times Hyrule's been destroyed.
And rebuilt.
Yeah, okay, so... let's take Skyward Sword, for example. It probably has... Now, I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, but...
Because you're a fucking jabroni. And he has no response.
Because I am poor, okay, buddy? I took that jet down to Florida and just, got hit with some unexpected bills. I dodged my taxes this year. I'm in debt like Floyd Mayweather. Anyways, Skyward Sword, which is presumed to be the earliest Zelda
Yes.
on the timeline, has the most advanced technology, aside from possibly Breath of the Wild, which I doubt has more advanced technology since it's basically, from what I read, kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of setting.
Well, you have your Sheikah slate, which I'm sure you're unaware of. As he laughs.
Of course I'm aware of the Sheikah slate. But go ahead and explain it.
So for any of you guys who have played Zelda games, you go to temples and you get certain weapons that help you out with the temples. So you'll get the slingshot, you'll get the hook shot, you'll get boomerangs.
Slingshot is a toy, by the way.
All things of that nature you get, and they help you progress through the game. In Breath of the Wild, you have what's called the Sheikah slate, and you get it in like the very first temple you go to, and they're basically like little like training temples, and basically you get everything that you'll need to complete the game in the first stage. So you have like an ice spell thing, you can stop time, you can use what's called magnesis, where basically you can pick up things and move them around with like a magnet, and you get your bombs also from the Sheikah slate, so you don't have to find bombs and stuff like that. So pretty advanced technology. But Breath of the Wild, again, for those of you that don't know, and I'm assuming Jared does not know this either, Link was actually frozen for 100 years. So Link was alive doing his thing, Ganon took over Hyrule, and then 100 years later, Link comes back to rectify the situation. Yeah.
So anyways, that's still irrelevant because societies have come and gone.
Yes.
By the time Breath of the Wild's around, and societies have come and gone since Skyward Sword. Now, Ocarina of Time takes place after Skyward Sword.
Yes.
And the technology in Ocarina of Time is nowhere near as advanced as it is in Skyward Sword. So, ancient civilizations, Link used a fidget spinner. That's just accept the facts. And I mean,
basically the entire point of this conversation is Jared is a sore loser because he got obliterated in every poll.
Okay, first off, no. Okay, we found the proof. Fidget spinners are ancient. They're before Ness's time. Okay, Link, who is an adolescent in most games, and even when he's an adult, is still very fucking young, still a teenager that would probably use a fidget spinner, ironically. Okay,
Sure.
So there it is. It's a fact. Link used fidget spinners. Secondly, okay, Hank Hill beat Al Bundy. I understand that. I admitted defeat as soon as that podcast aired. Like, that was going to happen. You made an excellent choice. That's fantastic. Great. Your Pong team? No. Your Pong team would stand absolutely no chance in hell. Anyone that thinks that Michelangelo has the skill, dexterity, and aim that Batman has? Give me a fucking break. Now, I'm assuming that the Terminator does have some sort of targeting system from the way that he blew away all the cops in Terminator 1. Mm-hmm. But we didn't see how advanced his targeting system was firsthand. Like, we saw RoboCops. We see RoboCops is state-of-the-art,
yes,
one of the greatest targeting systems of all time. I would say 10,000% accuracy on RoboCop shots. Now, Sonic? Come on, man. Just because he's cool, he doesn't have the reach that Waluigi has. Waluigi could pull off a beer pong dunk. I guess Sonic could, too, because he can jump really high.
Yeah.
But so can Waluigi.
He's got to watch the elbows, though, Waluigi does.
No, Waluigi is much more skilled at basketball. Now, we can assume this because of his height.
Yes.
All right? And so, basketball requires aim. I've never seen Sonic play basketball before. Maybe I have. I don't remember.
It's possible.
Regardless, the breaking point in these two teams is Batman versus Michelangelo. And anyone that thinks that Batman will lose to Michelangelo in anything, really, is just stupid, and I think that all of our fans are stupid. And I think, except for probably like the 3% that voted it for Batman, and except for Robot Zero, which is apparently still kind of stupid because they were too late to the poll, but was still smart enough that when they got to the poll to make the right decision, and with no hesitation whatsoever, I believe the post was just Team A.
Yeah, that's all it said.
Yeah, and there was no explanation required. I think that most of our followers on Twitter are fans of yours, and then when they see which choice is yours...
Because you don't have fans, because you say they're stupid.
Can you argue with me? Are they smart?
No comment.
Okay, then. Michelangelo would not be Batman at beer pong. Terminator and RoboCop, I still think that RoboCop has a slight edge on Terminator as far as the game goes.
Here's the real question. Would this game... Oh, I don't know. Because they still have to go eye to eye at the beginning.
Yes.
Terminator and RoboCop, they'd get it in right off the bat.
Yeah.
So really, it is...
Hold on, though. They have to look into each other's eyes. Are they allowed to use their targeting system in the eye-to-eye face-off?
Are they allowed to use their targeting systems at all?
Yes, they're allowed to use their targeting systems.
In eye-to-eye...
But when you're eye-to-eye, you have to look straight into someone's eyes. You can't look at the cups, so you're basically throwing blindly.
But couldn't you, like, lock on and then just move your head? Or do you have... I'm not as familiar.
It'd be a cheap move, but... Yeah, I'm assuming you possibly could. All right. Anyways, Batman beats Michelangelo. RoboCop and Batman get balls back every single time. And the off chance that they miss, Terminator and Michelangelo aren't getting balls back every time. No. Okay. So, now that I've told you all what stupid idiots you are, I don't even think the people that vote on these actually listen to the podcast half the time. But, so what's trending right now is that they've just announced a reboot of Karate Kid featuring Ralph Macchio and William Zabka from the original Karate Kid 30 years ago. I think that this is going to be a TV movie, and they're also doing it on YouTube Red.
Okay.
From what I'm reading. But, yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
So, is it confirmed that it is a remake, or is this a continuation?
It says reboot.
It says a
on
reboot.
Twitter.
So, are they playing different characters, and they're just in it, or are they the same characters?
I don't know yet. I haven't read that much into it, and I don't even know if that information...
is out
there. What I do know is that there's a growing movement in the movie watching community.
And I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
I think that was spawned by, maybe it was spawned by, but this is the first I ever heard of the movement was from How I Met Your Mother. That William Zabka's Johnny character is actually...
the good guy.
Yeah, actually the protagonist of Karate Kid. Not Ralph Macchio's Daniel San. What is your take on that?
Either way, even if Ralph Macchio is not the good guy or the bad guy, I mean, that has... it's here or there. You could argue either side. But I think we can all agree is he used an illegal move.
He definitely used an illegal kick at the end of the movie. Definitely an antagonistic move. Mr. Miyagi, also a strong antagonist in theory in this movie, cheers the move on. He's fucking loving it. What we don't see, I believe the credits start rolling as soon as he goes down and they start celebrating.
Well, yeah, because
right?
Karate Kid 2 starts when they're in the parking lot, right?
Right.
Like immediately after. So
well,
yeah.
I actually haven't watched Karate Kid 2 in quite a while. I haven't watched Karate Kid 1 in a long time either. But
credits roll slightly after.
So do they say is Ralph Macchio disqualified?
I don't think it was ever overturned. Or was it overturned in Karate Kid 2? I can't remember.
I can't remember if it was overturned or
that's
not.
a glaring fucking plot hole. In an American classic.
I just bought recently the next Karate Kid
With Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like the politically correct version of Karate Kid before the Karate Kid remake with
Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith, where they would use an African American
Right.
actor to. I don't want to see him like unpolitically correct because I have no problem with it, but basically to pander to this
Demographic.
political correctness demographic where if you don't have a diverse cast in your movie, then basically your movie is shit. Which I don't know whether or not you agree with that. Right now we have that new remake of this, or the adaptation of the Stephen King, The Dark Tower.
Correct.
That has...
Which I heard was bad. By
yeah,
the way.
I've been hearing terrible things about the movie. Terrible, awful, god-awful things about the movie. See, now... I have no problem with any of this, especially when the race or gender of a character
It does
not have an
matter.
effect
On the
on the character. I think though, when you go out of your way to do it, it does come off as pandering.
So you think the Karate Kid did come off that way?
I don't know if that movie did,
Not that
but
one.
now because I think
just
that
in
back
general.
then, I think that was far enough back, which it wasn't that far back, but far enough back to where I don't think that I would be suspicious of pandering like I am with The Dark Tower, for example, or
I can't think of anything off the top. I know what you're talking about though.
or the Ghostbusters
With women.
remake, which again I have no problem with, and I'm not a huge diehard Ghostbusters guy
me
that's
either.
going to be like, yo,
I
fuck
ju-
this, the original Ghostbusters were men.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen posts like that on the internet.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with any of that.
Here
all.
was my thing. I just thought it looked like shit. It didn't matter if it was guys or girls. I just thought it genuinely did not look good.
Which one, Karate Kid or Dark Tower?
Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, the trailer looked terrible.
Yeah.
I think that, but see, the pandering paid off because wasn't it kind of successful?
I don't know. I didn't look at the numbers. I'm
But
assuming
I
it was.
do recall a lot of people coming out and saying that the trailer looked funny. I disagree.
Yeah.
100%. It did not look funny. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
It looked to me like a movie that did not have quality writing, that used a female cast as kind of a gimmick to pander to this kind of the millennial generation that has been fighting the feminist fight and for quite some time now, fighting against racism and all these things that I agree with.
Yeah.
But they've also brought
there's
up
other ways.
arguments where that are kind of controversial about bringing a diverse cast to your movie. Here's an example that's 1,000% pandering.
Okay.
Was the Magnificent Seven remake,
Okay.
where you have Chinese and African American cowboys,
Yeah.
which we both know that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. But I didn't have a problem. Basically, and goes true to the old Magnificent Seven. Basically, the old one, they got the biggest quality actors of the time to come together, like Charles Bronson, Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, just like these big, like heavy hitters in the box office. And I don't know, this one, it was what, Denzel Washington, what's his name, Star-Lord, what's his actual name?
Oh man, just Andy from Parks and Rec, honestly. But
Chris Pratt.
yeah.
So, but those were the only two like big stars that were in the Seven, really. The other guys were just like random actors. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like
They couldn't get Jackie Chan to play the Chinese cowboy.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like they weren't even A-listers. It was just those two main guys.
And I mean, who's the biggest actor right now of our time? Currently,
Tony Stark, what's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, probably.
Is he making the most, or does he have the most name
He's-
value?
Both, I would say.
You think he has more name value than The Rock?
Yeah.
You think so?
I really
don't see him in anything besides Sherlock Holmes or Iron Man movies.
But how many fucking Marvel movies are there a year?
All right,
that
listen,
he's
I'm
associated
tracking
with?
this down.
Which one are you? What are you tracking down?
All right, so he attacks Johnny in the parking lot.
Oh, the Karate Kid. Okay. To see if the decision was overturned.
There's no mention on the Wikipedia page that
Of the decision being
overturned or not.
Maybe that's what this reboot is about.
Yeah,
it's like
maybe
30 years.
Ralph Macchio is finally gonna face the music on his dirty play there in the showdown. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. We got into like an actual
discussion,
like good discussion on some controversial subject matter. It's probably going to lose us some fans that are probably going to get the wrong idea and take a lot of things that we say out of context, or at least what I say out of context. But I mean, so be it. We've got fans to spare. But there's been all sorts of debate about this, about like Oscar nominees and whatnot. Now there basically has to be an African American
at least nominated
mm-hmm. for an Oscar for Best Actor or Best Actress now.
Yeah.
And now there's another debate going on whether or not there should be two separate categories for Best Actor and Best Actress. It all should be just one thing.
Right. And
then one person should take it all home. And I mean, why can't we just hand out awards to everybody? I mean, that's what you essentially want, right? Is to hand awards out to everybody. So why not give one to a man and a woman? Yeah. And if you want to see who is the best overall, maybe there should be an Oscar for best overall, man or woman.
But then it would essentially...
Then they would get pissed when a man wins it, you know? Or
what I was saying is, like,
when a white man wins it, people would get pissed off.
Well, say if it was man, woman, and best overall, then it would only be between the two people that won. So someone would be walking away with 2 Oscars that night for the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't fly either.
What do you think?
I think it's fine how it is. Like,
and what is your take on not having a diverse cast of nominees? And by diverse, I essentially mean that there's not enough African American presence at the Oscars.
Well, I mean, personally, and I've taken 3 classes in like racial relations when I was in school, and basically how I feel is you shouldn't put a black person in there just for the sake of having one in there.
It's pandering. It's pandering, and it's...
But I can understand, like, say, Will Smith or something.
Listen, if someone deserves to be in there, if an African-American deserves to be nominated for something...
And isn't, then I'd get pissed.
Yeah, well, then you can see the problem there. But then when we're just kind of throwing someone in there just to have someone in there...
Yeah.
I see a problem with that, because then there's probably a more deserving actor or actress out there that did work hard, that did perfect their craft, that isn't getting the recognition that they deserve. Right. Because you had to throw a name in there that didn't necessarily deserve it, just so you could have diversity. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it should all be colorblind. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that works both ways. Like, you should never even notice if it's a black person or not. Mm-hmm. Or, again, you should never even notice if it's a white person, a Chinese person, a Mexican person, any of that. That it should just be, there it is. He or she won, and they deserved it. Yeah. They did the best acting.
In this past year. Yeah.
I can see... There's a counter argument for at least the casting that I do see, because there still is, to a degree, whitewashing.
Yes, there is.
And the most recent example that I can think of, and I think we brought this up before, maybe in last season, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, we talked about it last season.
So, is there no way that they couldn't have promoted that movie with a Japanese actress, like an up and comer? You mean to tell me they can't find a Japanese girl with the acting chops to pull off that role. Now I know Scarlett Johansson has.
They can find an actress with better acting chops to pull out that role, but it's not going to cater to the mass public. If you're doing a Ghost in the Shell movie with an Asian actress, it's going to cater to fans of the show and to people.
The original movie.
The original. Well, the anime is the.
It started with a movie.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I believe it was like 95.
Yes.
Or something.
But I became aware of it with the show.
Standalone Complex.
Whatever was on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
at the time.
Standalone Complex. I was not a fan of Standalone Complex, but I am a fan of the original movie.
But basically, my point is, it's not going to have as many people see it if they don't recognize the person. So if there was some...
Was Ghost in the Shell a success? Was it a box office success?
No, because of all the controversy surrounding it.
Okay. So is it worth it?
No, probably not.
Okay.
But I'm saying that's how
least-
that's how these studios think.
At least when you cast properly and get a Japanese actress with the proper acting chops for the role, at least when you do that, you have the interest of the original fan base. You will have their interest, as opposed to spitting in their face,
Yes.
but also not attracting your mainstream audience like you thought you would. Mm-hmm. I mean, man, does the name value really mean that much in this day and age?
To box office sales, yes, it does.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Does Scarlett Johansson's name value mean much these days?
Not necessarily.
Okay, then.
I wouldn't say.
Who do you think is the biggest female actress out right now?
Depends on how you're looking at it. From like a comedy standpoint, fucking
Amy Schumer?
Amy Schumer, Melissa McCarthy, maybe.
Even though she's a really controversial figure, too.
I'd say Angelina Jolie, maybe, has some name value.
Today?
Well, now she's directing, so now she's getting a lot of recognition for that.
What did she direct?
Unbroken, and she directed some other movie, and I think she has one more coming out.
Okay, well, props to Angelina Jolie for taking her career in another direction and succeeding.
Yeah. Who would you think is the biggest female?
I don't know. That's why I asked you. That might be an issue in and of itself, is that we don't really know any female
like a powerhouse female.
Yeah, I know that a few years ago, I would say Sandra Bullock was in the middle of like a career revival that was huge.
When Gravity and Blindside and all those,
But I don't know what's happened to her since.
I don't either. But right now in 2017, I don't think there's a big female draw to the box office, like a big named actress. If you guys know one, let us know.
Yeah,
but I can't because like when you say The Rock, people are gonna go fucking see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't think of
I mean, as far as guys go right now, you have The Rock, you have Robert Downey Jr., you have Matthew McConaughey, who's fucking killing it lately.
Yeah.
He's in that Dark Tower movie.
Yes.
Maybe that'll fucking shoot down his momentum.
Maybe. Hey, he's a nice guy. Leave him alone. I know from experience.
I wish Matthew McConaughey the best, regardless of his mediocre at best career leading up to Interstellar.
Those car commercials. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Regardless of that, I wish Matthew McConaughey the best. For all I know, he has lived a controversy-free lifestyle and has been an all-around good dude that's just made a lot of money, and he probably is a humanitarian for all I know.
But still, even though it's been nearly 20 years, the best film he put out is Texas Chainsaw 5 or 4. Which one was it? The New Beginning? Or what one was it?
Is The Next Generation or something like that, where Leatherface is a cross-dresser. I don't know. That movie would be great these days. It's be widely accepted.
They re-released it in theaters once he got popular in like 2000 or something.
Oh man, what a spit in his face. All right, so Dazed and Confused is Matthew McConaughey's best movie. To this day, it still is. Actually, Fool's Gold.
I never saw that.
It's trash, but Interstellar's good. What else was he in that was big since then?
I don't know. I don't follow his career.
He's been in some stuff.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
And he won for
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers
Yes,
Club.
yes.
Yeah. He beat out
A lot of people.
Leonardo in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And that was a controversial decision, regardless of how many African Americans were in the nominations, which I believe that year there were none.
Maybe a good discussion.
But I also believe that year that there was a deserving candidate. I believe that those came out, or did Straight Outta Compton come out last year?
Last year.
Okay.
No one was nominated for that one. The actors.
Ice Cube's son O'Shea Jackson Jr. should have been nominated.
I don't think he was nominated.
He was not. I remember that being mentioned, and he should have been, because that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he did a fantastic job. I'm assuming makeup played a little bit of a part in that too.
Well, he looks just like him anyway.
He looks like his dad, but in that movie he looked just like his dad.
Yeah, but when I walked out of that movie,
in that movie it was hard to believe that he even had a mother.
Yeah.
That he was not just some test tube baby.
Yeah.
That
Was only
Ice Cube just fucking
cloned himself.
Yeah, just cloned himself.
When I walked out of that movie, I realized that
there were moments in that movie where I thought, sorry that I keep interrupting you. There were moments in that movie where I thought that they had switched. I was like, okay, a few years have passed, because they go into the 90s with it. And I was like, okay, a few years have passed. Is that Ice Cube now? Do they actually have Ice Cube acting now?
Well, I seriously thought, I was like, he looks more like Ice Cube than Ice Cube does, is what I was thinking.
He looks more like Ice Cube than Ice-T does.
But anyway, we've been going on for this for a while. Maybe a whole podcast discussion could just be Oscar related.
Not just Oscar related,
Like-
but just race things, and maybe we should go see the Dark Tower and see.
Perhaps. But as you guys know, this month is Music Month, where all of our polls are going to be music related.
Yes.
And Jared will also be singing All Star karaoke on the channel. Keep
Excited about that.
keep getting excited about that. But this week, why don't you announce what we're going to be discussing?
All right, this week we talked about Karate Kid, the reboot, okay? And we all know Karate Kid for a few things. We know Karate Kid for the illegal head kick.
Yes.
That Ralph Macchio delivered to William Zabka at the end of the film. That's been talked about and debated for years to come. We know Karate Kid for Wax On, Wax Off.
Yes.
And Mr. Miyagi's unorthodox training methods. We also know Karate Kid for You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna break you down or get you down or whatever it is. One of the great movie songs in history. Today's poll, we will be talking about some of the other great movie songs in history and which one is the best around. And nothing's ever gonna bring it down or get it down.
So basically the ground rules for this are we're not talking about movie scores. So Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jaws, stuff like that does not count. Also, the song has to almost be like synonymous with the movie. So we can't say Hooked on a Feeling from Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that.
More than a feeling.
What?
What's Hooked on a Feeling?
I'm hooked on a feeling.
All right, well, a better example is Asia, More Than a Feeling.
Yes,
it's in
from
a lot of movies.
40-year-old version.
Or Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son.
It has to be.
These are all movie songs, no doubt about it. They're also movie songs for a billion different movies.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, so this one, it has to be
synonymous with that movie. And I mean, they might even be in other movies, but you will always associate
think of this movie
with this movie. I mean, let's start it off with an example right now. Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone from Top Gun.
Yes, that is synonymous. Whenever you, and also like these songs, like it has to be something that you could hear on the radio. You know what I mean? Well, I think that was part of like that's when we were just deciding the difference
You
between
could hear
a
it
song,
on the radio,
a song,
and then you would think of
like,
the movie. But usually these songs are very, very popular.
yes. But I think we were just saying that to differentiate between it can't be a soundtrack; it has to be a song.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything on the Dazed and Confused soundtrack that's going to make this list because those are all songs that are infamous on their own.
Yes.
Nobody really thinks of Dazed and Confused when Aerosmith comes on or whatever song that they have in there. It's been a while for me.
So Danger Zone's a good one. This one is not my pick. In this one, you could debate is not even associated with this because again, when you think of it, you don't necessarily think of the movie, but it's a very memorable scene in the movie. Bohemian Rhapsody from Wayne's World.
That's true. That's actually where I was exposed to Bohemian Rhapsody from.
Yeah.
And now obviously the song is so big, it's taken on its own meaning, and
Yes.
it's been like that. But at a young age, for me, the first time I heard Bohemian Rhapsody was in Wayne's World. And I would be lying to you if I didn't think of, pardon me, sir, do you have some Grey Poupon every time that I hear Bohemian Rhapsody. By the way, Wayne's World's one of the greatest.
One of the greatest of all.
One of the greatest movies ever. And I am still calling for a Wayne's World sequel in this day and age where we are resurrecting all these franchises and bringing them back for one more go around, a reboot or sequel, what have you. Because it's happening with everything. Nostalgia is at an all-time high right now. Maybe because nobody can come up with any quality content
That's part
anymore.
of it.
But
did I ever tell you when I was in college, we did a shot-for-shot remake of the product placement scene, and I played Rob Lowe, when like with the Pizza Hut thing. Yeah, we did that scene for a class project.
That's
once.
great. That's great. But yeah, Wayne's World needs to come back.
I would say
Doesn't Austin Powers have a sequel coming?
They've been saying that for the past 10 years, and it has not happened.
I want a Wayne's World sequel before Austin Powers, because we've had Austin Powers more recently than we've had Wayne's World.
From what I've heard, Mike Myers is an asshole to work with. And that's why a lot of these aren't getting made, because although his movies are funny, in person, he's like not the easiest to work with. So a lot of people don't want to work with him nowadays.
He was part of the Saturday Night Live crew for quite a while.
I think the attitude came with age and cockiness.
All right.
From what I've heard, I've never met Mike Myers, but
no, we certainly don't want to deter Mike Myers from listening to our podcast any further. We know he's a huge fan of the show.
Have you seen Baby Driver yet?
No.
Can I spoil a scene for you from Baby Driver?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Baby Driver is the new Edgar Wright movie, and basically they are a bunch of robbers, essentially, and Baby Driver is the driver. And they're on this one heist, and the boss, played by Kevin Spacey, told them to get Michael Myers masks to do the heist, so people wouldn't recognize their faces. And one of the guys bought Austin Powers masks for everyone, so they'd like rob this bank or post office or something as Austin Powers.
Jesus Christ, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to check that movie out. Anyways, back on topic.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, because I gave the last song, so you go ahead.
How about Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me?
I was gonna
Breakfast Club.
I wasn't gonna say that next, but I was gonna bring that up.
It's a great song.
That's another song. Whenever I hear it, I think of the fist in the air at the end of the Breakfast Club. How about your boy, Huey Lewis, Back to the Future Part 1.
The Power of Love.
Yes.
That is an amazing, amazing song. A 9,000 out of 10 song.
Do you think, because you're a big Huey Lewis fan, is that song synonymous with the movie, or do you just think of it as a song?
To me, I usually think of the song, but it's also painfully clear to me that it's from the movie. I believe it was just on a top 40 list of movie songs countdown.
Really?
That I listened to on the radio, actually. But I think that it's synonymous with the movie. But there's also a song that he did for, I think, Back to the Future 3, Back in Time.
Is it a country song?
No. But here's a song that also is related to Huey Lewis, though not Huey Lewis. The Ghostbusters theme song.
It's an incredible song.
Is
That
actually
would be a good contender for a pick if you were trying to steal one away. Because that has some name value. Everyone's like, oh, a Ghostbusters song. I know that. They'll just click it.
That's a great song. I'm not a fan of it because as a Huey Lewis fan, the song is directly ripped off of a Huey Lewis song, I Want a New Drug.
Really?
Yes, because Huey Lewis was originally supposed to pen the Ghostbusters theme song and for whatever reason decided not to. I can't remember if it was a money issue or something. But when it was after the fallout, and they got the guy that eventually would write the Ghostbusters theme song to write it, and he was instructed to make it sound like the
song.
Huey Lewis song, I Want a New Drug. And so they sound painfully similar. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard I Want a New Drug, I thought it was the Ghostbusters song.
So
Turns out the other way around.
Is it as similar? This is, for those of you that don't know, like, metal history. Is it the same as, like, Mechanics and Four Horsemen? Only the same speed? Or is it different
there
enough?
is definitely certain parts of the song that I would say are exactly the same.
Exactly, okay.
They're like kind of like DDP's old entrance music.
Okay.
Was Smells Like Teen Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
but just played in a different key.
Yeah.
At like a slightly different tempo, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where they couldn't sue them.
Just like Stone Cold's was Bulls on Parade, and then it just morphed into its own thing.
Yeah. Anyways, so do you have one?
Any of the songs from Saturday Night Fever. I guess.
How about we run back to Kenny Loggins here? Footloose.
Footloose.
Yeah.
Kick off your Sunday shoes. Not much to say about that one other than...
That's
Well,
not that great of a song.
Was it written for the movie and then just became successful after that, or was the movie named after it?
I believe that it was written for the movie.
Okay.
I believe. That song, not quite as great as Danger Zone, in my estimation.
Yeah, in your personal opinion?
In my personal opinion, yeah.
Okay, so I'm struggling to think of a couple now. So I'll say one. It might be your pick, and if it is, I'm sorry. You can have first pick anyway, so I don't care. I have the Tiger.
Is that your pick?
That's not my pick. No, I'm just saying for discussion.
I have the Tiger
I'm saying for discussion, but I'm saying if it is your pick, you can still have it.
Okay, so I don't know if I actually don't have a pick yet.
Okay.
But Eye of the Tiger is a strong contender based on name value alone. I will say this about Eye of the Tiger. It is not the best Rocky training montage.
What is your favorite Rocky?
Hearts on Fire from Rocky
What I was singing earlier.
You were singing it earlier, and I think that anyone that actually listens to these two songs back to back knows that Hearts on Fire is the better song. There's also Burning Heart from Rocky 4 as well. Rocky 4 is like the montage king of the Rocky series.
It is.
Actually, this morning, I watched the Rocky Drago fight from Rocky 4. Did you see that Stallone said he's going to fight Drago again in Creed 2?
Yeah.
So I guess Creed 2 settles around Apollo Creed's son meeting up with Drago's son.
Really?
Yeah, and so they're going to have a fight. And that makes sense. Now, it seems gimmicky at first, but it makes sense since his son, or his father, was killed by Drago in the ring.
Yes.
And what has also been a controversial finish to a fight. The man basically murdered him.
That is true.
All right, so Hearts on Fire, better than Eye of the Tiger, in my opinion. How about Purple Rain?
From Purple Rain.
From Purple Rain. Or really anything off the Purple Rain soundtrack. Now, this is a unique situation here since there are several singles from that soundtrack, from that album, that are... All the songs are featured in the movie. Yes. But I mean,
what about
there's
The Wall then?
The Wall, but see, The Wall was an album that they turned into a movie, whereas Purple Rain was an album that was actually written with a movie in mind.
So what about the Bat Dance? Does that count?
It counts if you want it to count. How about Live and Let Die? Paul McCartney
it's a good one.
and Wings, I believe.
It's a good one.
It's an epic song.
Yeah.
How about that Led Zeppelin cover that had
wait, from Godzilla '98.
Yeah.
It's unanimous with the movie. Also, one of the most.
P. Diddy comes like eye to eye with Godzilla in the music video.
And then just walks away.
Yeah. Well, P. Diddy's a powerful man. Sean Diddy Combs. I have one. Oh, I was saying about Prince. I mean, you could go with When Doves Cry, also from that movie.
Yeah.
They're all on there, man.
Do you have any more off the top of your head, or are you ready to get into a pick? And I have mine, so don't steal mine.
All right, well, I believe that I went second in our last poll.
Correct.
Because you picked Hank Hill.
Yes.
And I went Al Bundy after that. So, I don't have any, like, secret weapons hidden. I'm going to have to go off of, like, everything that we've already mentioned.
That's fine.
Unless you think that we should bring in I Disappear by Metallica. Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack.
No one's going to vote for that. You need to be smart with these picks. You're better off going through all the ones that we just discussed.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take a risk here, and I realize that heavy hitters like Eye of the Tiger and Ghostbusters theme song are both more recognizable name value. I'm going to give the listeners of this show a chance to prove me wrong.
They're not going to prove you wrong.
I'm going to give them
especially with my pick, they're not going to prove you wrong. I guarantee you need to go with Ghostbusters or you're losing this poll. You need to go with Ghostbusters or you're losing this poll.
Or Eye of the Tiger? You think your pick is better than Eye of the Tiger?
I don't even think Eye of the Tiger has a chance.
I'm curious as to this pick right now.
All right.
I want to pick Simple Minds. I want to pick Don't You Forget About Me.
So should I say my pick and then you do yours based off of mine?
Give me your pick. Give me your pick.
My pick, The Heavy Hitter by...
Is this a secret? Was this a secret weapon? Has it been mentioned yet?
No, this has not been meant. This is a secret weapon.
Oh, man, it's going to hit me.
By... I can't believe you didn't even bring this up in discussion. Some of you may know him as the Fresh Prince. I know him as a Men in Black. That is my pick. You're going to lose.
Oh, man. I don't think that song on name value could beat Wild Wild West by the same person. Should we have the Will Smith showdown of all showdowns?
And not even include the Fresh Prince theme song?
It's not a movie, so we specifically went movies.
Oh, we did. Yes, that's true.
We can do TV theme songs
another time.
Fresh Prince theme song would be a strong contender, as well as Friends. I didn't even consider the Fresh Prince theme song in TV once. Man, see, the problem with this is for people that have not seen, that have only seen Men in Black, because Wild Wild West was a much less successful movie.
Correct.
The song is still very well known, and I've heard it played at parties and stuff. But based on name value alone, see, I would say that Wild Wild West, the song, is more well known than the Men in Black song.
Yeah,
but
I could see that.
The movie Men in Black is so much better than the Wild Wild West movie.
Correct.
So that's a tough one to call if I want to go Will Smith to Will Smith on you right here.
You might beat me if you pick Ghostbusters, but I really think that's the only chance you have.
You don't think Eye of the Tiger has a chance?
I don't think our viewers would make the connection. Well, not our viewers, the people who... Our viewers would, because they've listened this far and they understand life. But the people on Twitter who have not listened to the show and are just blindly voting.
Think that people, the normal common person, connects Eye of the Tiger to Rocky?
I don't know who's voting on these polls. It's very true. All I know is Men in Black also shares the name of the movie that it's in, as does Ghostbusters.
All right. I'm going to take your advice on this one.
Okay.
If I turn out losing this poll, I will realize that this has all been a trap.
I don't think I genuinely think if you pick Ghostbusters, it'll be pretty head-to-head in this.
Ghostbusters.
All right.
Even though I hate that song and I'm going against what I believe in as a human being.
You can go with Hearts on Fire, man.
No. I wanted to go with Simple Minds. Don't You Forget About Me, because for all intents and purposes, pound for pound, I believe that it is the best song that we mentioned.
Yeah, it could be.
On these, like the actual best musical
Yes.
song. Aside from the Prince songs.
Yes.
But regardless, that's my pick, Ghostbusters, and that is this episode, I believe, unless you have something else.
No, that's all. We will see you guys in a week. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this episode, what we should talk about in future episodes, and maybe even what our punishment for this month should be, because we haven't had any ideas yet.
Want to thank you guys for tuning in to listen. Obviously, thank you guys for continuing to listen and making season 2 pretty much as successful as season 1 was. About 30 hits an episode. So
Yeah.
Thanks for that. The fact that anyone listens to this podcast
It's mind-blowing.
it's really humbling, and that you guys would waste your time of day listening to us talk about stuff. So thank you for that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. I believe I just changed the name from ThrashKid97 to Dynamite Jared.
Either way, the link is in the description, so just go there.
Yeah, I changed it to Dynamite Jared. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and come up with some independent content to upload for you guys, so that maybe I could raise my brand up a little bit, and then maybe one day we will be able to get an independent channel
Yes.
for this podcast.
It would be nice.
So we could get some of Buddy's idiot listeners out of here, and these polls will be a little bit more even. Thank you guys again. This is Dynamite Jared signing off.
And this
Peace.
is Buddy the Bruiser signing off. We will see you guys next week with a fuck motherfucker. I can't even speak. Bye.